Hey, you, come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much. And indeed, this is a grown-ups table to another extent because it is the holidays where a grown-ups table and a kiddie table may be found for Thanksgiving. But this isn't just any regular mom and pop Thanksgiving. Hell no, I almost said what it really was. But this is a tribute to Thankskilling.
Woo! Thankskilling, the greatest low-budget horror movie ever made.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Motherfucker, exactly.
Yes. Real quick, before we even go any further, make sure you like our Facebook page so you're always alerted when we go live, and check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. All of our shows go on there the next day. So subscribe right there, man. And as always, share the link. Share the link. Sharing is caring, especially when it's a tribute to Thankskilling.
Thankskilling.
My Lord, I got to revisit this movie again recently. Still a classic. What a cult film this is.
Oh, absolutely. I actually watched it again last night. Ryan Francis did a kind of like a live commentary while everybody in his Twitch group, we all started the movie at the same time. So we watched it together. And then Ryan was on his Twitch page live, and he was providing commentary, behind-the-scenes information. Tons of people were commenting. He was responding to those comments. So it was a really good time. And it was great watching the film again. Admittedly, I actually hadn't watched it at all this year until yesterday. So it was great to go back. It's never a dull moment when you're talking about Thankskilling. So
yeah. And for those that have been living under a rock and haven't seen it, Thankskilling is exactly what you think it is just by looking at this poster. It's about a turkey from the original Thanksgiving, and he's back 505 years later. And you know what? Kralsberg had it coming, and he goes after.
I love it.
I'm in the mood right now. This is my favorite time of year. Thanks. If you can put Halloween with any holiday, I love it. And Thankskilling allows us to do that. But he's Turkey. And then one of the great things I love about Turkey as a slasher is, damn, he's got the one-liners.
Oh, absolutely.
What is one of your favorite one-liners? Mine is gobble, gobble, because obviously that's the good one. But give me another one.
So I of course, gobble, gobble, but actually mine is more of a low-key one. And I actually mentioned this in the live stream that Ryan was doing last night, is that, first of all, I love the voice of Turkey. Like, it's almost like somebody's talking into one of those modulation boxes, but then it's probably not like, you can't quite tell. Is it regular voice? Is it an enhanced voice? But it's just that deep, like, fuck you voice. And the funny thing is, did you like that?
That was really good.
I tried, man. I really tried. I don't do voices or impressions. That's not the type of comedy or entertainment I do. But hey, thanks for the accolade there. No, but actually, my favorite thing is when Turkey reacts to. I don't want to give it. I mean, I'm sure most people have seen it. But when he's reacting to various things that are happening to him, or when he's surprised by something, he'll often go like, "Oh shit," and it's just like when he does that, like. That's my absolute favorite, because the emotion and the way they enunciate Turkey's voice is hilarious to me. Oh, it makes it such a deeper character that you're just like, there's emoting going on with Turkey. So anytime he's like, oh shit, like I love that. Like, it's because it's so great. Like, I can just see myself do that. Like, I react to that all the time. Like, oh shit, what's going on? But obviously it's not the Turkey voice. But when it's combined with the Turkey voice, it is just great. So that's actually my favorite line from him. Yeah. It's just that reactionary, oh shit, like that's just the best, man. I love it.
He had that moment after he was talking with the father, and he's trying, like, you know what? He's a nice guy. I don't want to go through with it. And the father says one more thing to push Turkey away. Oh shit.
Yep, exactly.
And it was just perfect. Before we bring out our guests, I want Dartha's gobble gobble Thanksgiving Day tradition. Tom's already here. GPMF. save the demonic turkeys, eat chicken.
I don't know, man. I'm more of a turkey guy than a chicken guy.
Yeah. Well, right now, let's bring out our guest. I've been very excited for this show.
Who is it?
Yes, a guest. And not just any guest to talk about this movie. One would say an expert in talking about this movie. Someone with experience and, let's say, playing a role in the film.
Who is it?
Who is it? It's the one and only. Woo! Give it up for Ryan Francis as Darren, the nerd.
There he is, folks. Oh, he's rocking that hat again, man. I love that hat.
Dude, it's a very comfortable hat. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, we got you, man.
Okay, loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, but it's always even better. Like, we can talk about something talk more about your art. You know what I mean? And this time as an actor in one of the greatest cult films, Thankskilling. So how is it this time of year for you every year?
Dude, this is like super fun because obviously this is when the Thankskilling, Thankskilling always comes up and it smashes. Everyone wants to watch Thankskilling. You hear a lot about holiday traditions, and I mean, for me, I've seen both sides. It is what you make of it, right? Mm-hmm. So I've actually, I purposely kind of spent the past 4 or 5 years. I wanted to kind of dial back a little bit and just kind of watch from the background. I scaled back conventions and things like that and didn't really pay too much attention. But this year I was like, you know what? I'm diving headfirst into this because it's 2020 and everything sucks. So let's do this. Dude, it's still this film came out 11 years ago. And people, if you look at the hashtags, man, go on Instagram. I challenge you to do this. Go on Instagram, hashtag Thanksgiving. There are turkey tattoos. I'm not kidding. Full color piece, half arm tattoos. There's a guy that I met, and I'm gonna post the pictures in the Facebook thread. But there's a guy who got GGMF tattooed on his ankles on his feet.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, for real. I wanted to give him a shout out. And I really I have all these things compiled. I want to send you all these pictures if you wanted to post them eventually.
Yes.
I may not get to it right now, but yeah, it's something that needs to be seen. But it's crazy because the fandom is still definitely there. People love it. And this year, we've all had the opportunity because nothing else is going on to really kind of sit back and embrace what's happening. And it is on fire, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's the beauty of cult films, man. It's something that brings everybody together. It's some sort of commonality. No matter where you are, what walk of life you are, you could come here and just gush over your love, Turkey, and all the people that he kills. Now, here's my thing. Last night you did a Twitch watch party.
I did. And it was crazy.
Tell us a little bit about that. How's the fandom as of last night with this film?
Dude, so when a little bit of background on the watch along. Back when Thankskilling first kind of hit the scene, for me, it was fun to go through Twitter hashtags and, find people just random, I would just comment on someone's stuff. How cool is it that you're tweeting about a movie and this guy is just randomly responds what the hell? Oh my God, this guy.
That's a great feeling.
so I did that all the time. And what I would do is I would have Skype sessions, but it wasn't video. It was just I was just texting with everybody, but we would do a watch through of the movie together while we would just, IM each other in a big group. And that was fun. And then I would, there would be points where they would ask questions. I would move to a private messaging session. We would chit chat and that's what it was. And took a break from that for a few years, like I said, and I wanted to come back and do it. Now I'm like, dude, video streaming. Let's do a video Twitch kind of thing and watch this movie together, not knowing how it would end up. I mean, I was used to having, maybe 5-10 people in, which was cool because that's 5 or 10 people who enjoy hanging out with you and watching this terrible movie. But this year, last night, we had 77 people in the stream at one time, which was phenomenal. Nice. And nice. To boot, we raised over $750 for the 2 House in Franklinton, which is a homeless facility. And yeah, I was like, dude, everyone's doing these pay-to-play things. Like all these artists are kind of doing, give me tips. And I'm like, dude, I'm employed. I don't really need this money. But if people are appreciative, maybe we can use this to do some nonprofit work. And sure as hell worked. Like people, I got this beautiful email. I wanted to actually read this email because I just got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was someone who sent in a donation, and it was I'm not going to reveal names or say how much it was for, but it was an amount, and I've never met this person before in my life. And this email that came back to me, this is what's so cool. He said, I appreciate, I said, hey, you gave such a big donation. What can I do for you? Can I do a video shout out? Can I send you a signed photo? Can I just anything you can think of? I'd love to thank you for your contribution. And he said, I appreciate the offer. I don't remember exactly how I came across Thankskilling. I was stationed overseas, Hawaii, so I can't complain too much, away from my family and spending the holidays alone with no traditions. Watched it a handful of times that first year, and since then it's become my one annual holiday tradition, so it was really cool to watch it with you and a bunch of others who have also made it their tradition. Also really cool to confirm my belief that it wasn't just a bad movie, but a smart and self-aware one. The existence of Thankskilling has brought me way more joy than the money that I contributed, so kicking back to a worthy charity was the least I can do. Definitely count on my participation and contributions every year. Dude, right there. Like,
wow. Right there. Wow.
Right there.
What a guy. Wow.
That's the beauty of cult films. Like it brings people that together, and it shows off the best parts of humanity. It brings it out. And wow. Well, and shout out to that guy for doing something amazing. Doing something amazing, donating, as well as you hosting the donations. That's incredible, man. Big shout out to you guys. Now let me switch gears with you real quickly. And I'm going to just do this one more time. Share the link, everybody. All right. Share that link. And if you live under a rock, rewatch Thankskilling on Amazon Prime and Tubi. Okay.
Absolutely.
Make sure you do that. Now, Ryan, so let's talk about the film, the filmmaking. We've talked briefly about it in past areas.
Are you drinking White Claw, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Oh my god!
I got White Claw there, dude. White Claw is really good.
Truly, man, come on,
dude. I got my White Claw in the other room. I got. What flavor you drinking?
It's all about Truly, man. White Claw is already done. It's like Four Loko. It's over. It's all about Truly.
No way, dude.
Ryan, after this whole COVID-19 blows over, you and I will crack some White Claws.
Around
John not joining us.
Hold on. I'm not going to turn down a White Claw. Okay, let's just make this understood right now. I've never turned one down in the past, and I don't plan on ever turning one down.
Now he wants to join in. Now,
if you guys are going to party, I want in on it. Come on now.
All right, let's just jump over to the comment section before we switch gears real quickly. Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Josh was there. Josh was hanging out last night.
Ryan, can you give us your best turkey? Me and John did it a few times already. Can you give us your best turkey with this line?
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
There it is. There it is.
No one can do it as good as Jordan because obviously he's the turkey. Turkey, man. Yeah. Turkey is symbolic. I have so many stories to tell you. Like one just came to mind. I just forgot.
Okay,
We're gonna get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Okay.
So I don't forget.
One more. We just gotta do 2 more comments, and then we're gonna get right into talking about the movie.
Let's read this.
The best part is I found this film. I'm gonna take it off because I'm blocking Ryan, our guest, entirely. One part is that I found this movie and fell in love with it. I was telling friends at work about it, and they were surprised that they also knew about the movie. Turns out I didn't know that I worked with the nerd. And he says there is no claw with the claw. There we go.
So let me piggyback off of Darth real quick, because this is all part of the encompassing origin story, right? So much like how Darth didn't realize that like Ryan was the guy, when I was out for back surgery in 2009, I came back to work and Ryan actually ended up getting put on my team as a new hire. So I was his manager. And I don't even remember what the first couple months of our relationship was, but Ryan then told me, I forget how, maybe we were in a coaching or I was writing you up for something. I don't remember what it was. He's like, well, yeah, I was in this movie. And like, I had always been very interested in performing arts and filmmaking stuff. So I just started asking him questions. He told me about it, and I didn't immediately go watch the movie. I didn't forget about it, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Then I got sick for like 4 days. And Ryan, I had texted Ryan. I was like, hey, man, I'm sick. I'm going to watch your movie. And Ryan's like, oh, cool. Watch it. Instantly fell in love with the movie. I was like, oh my God. I'm like live texting him as I'm sick as hell. Like, oh my God. Oh, this happened. And honestly, it just like, it really went from there. So it's funny that like Darth and I, obviously we all worked in the same place. So we all kind of have that origin story with Ryan. But while we have Ryan on the show, I do want to thank Ryan because he is a big reason why I do what I do. Without Ryan, I wouldn't have had somebody to motivate and encourage me to enter performing arts. And I mean, that includes comedy, the films that I've done, the podcasting that I've done, the live performances that I've done. All of the performing arts, all of the things that I do that put myself out there, all of that can be traced down to one central point, and that was Ryan encouraging me to follow my dreams. And not everybody has somebody to motivate them that way or has the will to do it. And I just want to thank you, Ryan, for doing that for me, because I wouldn't be sitting in this seat right now if it wasn't for you. So thank you. I love you, man.
Oh, I love you too, John. Man, that made my heart. I got a little palpitation there.
Good. That was the really point. I better be in your will if you keel over tonight. I want that hat. That's what I want. I want the hat.
You've got a DVD with your name on. Well, Blu-ray with your name on it over here.
Yes, I can't wait to watch that.
Pre-claimed.
I'm so pumped.
So, real quick before we go on to our interview, so it's Ryan's fault. Yep, it is.
Yep,
Ryan's
there it
fault.
is, Darth. You got it. Yep, absolutely. It is 100% Ryan's fault.
My bad, Darth. I'm actually sorry about that, man. I'm sorry. I should have been a total dick to John forever.
That's the thing.
Hey, John. Oh, you want to make a movie? Fuck off. You can't. You're terrible.
That's the thing about Ryan is that he can be a dick to people, but he's not a dick. Like, Ryan finds the good in people, and Ryan's one of those people that all he has to do is find this little thing within you, and he's able to just drive that out. I've seen him motivate plenty of other people other than me, and it's just amazing. That's just the type of person that he is. And I feel like his background and his life experiences and what he's done with performing arts and the band that he was in and the crazy shit that Ryan and I have done together in our 10, 11 years of friendship, like all of this has molded him into the person that he is. And that comes across in these interviews. That came across last night in the live stream, me watching him interact with his audience. I've seen that before. I've been in those things with Ryan before, but watching him interact with his fans and how receptive they are and how encouraging he was to them is just amazing. You don't see that type of person every day. So for somebody to not only have impacted so many people with this film, he continues to impact people within his life. And he's just a great guy all around.
Well, thanks, John. I owe you a blowjob for saying all that.
I'll take it, man. I'll cash in on it. It does have an expiration date. It has to happen in the year 2021. So.
Okay.
There it is.
Preferably my birthday. So
now, Ryan, let me ask you this: how did you get involved with Thankskilling?
Yeah, what was the story? Tell us. How did you get that this film?
So it goes actually all the way back to high school. Jordan Downey and I went to the same high school together. He was one class higher than I was, senior to my junior, and we had our school had just transitioned into this brand new video production class where they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on brand new video equipment. And I think it was my sophomore, his junior Yeah, it was one of those. It was like towards the end of high school. Either way, they just invested all this money in great, video stuff, and we got this new teacher named Randall Smith. Randall Smith was he was a boom operator for 12 Monkeys and a plethora of other fantastic films. Yes, like big Terry Gilliam guy. Worked with Terry Gilliam multiple times.
Wow.
And here he was in little old Heath, Ohio, teaching classes. Right. So he introduced Jordan and I. And Jordan and I would get together and we would watch terrible movies. Everyone had a place called Video Varieties of that nature. You know what I mean? Like Video Varieties, buy 5, get 5 for 5 days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we'd go to the horror section and pick out like the worst garbage we could find, go home on the weekend, watch all of them. So we connected over bad horror films. And when this program came to fruition, it was like, dude, we can go make all these movies with like, top of the line equipment at the time that looked good with editing software. I mean, dude, we had top of the line IMAX in our editing bay. I mean, it was nuts. Little old Heath, Ohio, for whatever reason. But we actually made a movie called 218 in an old abandoned middle school, which we should not have been allowed in. Jordan did all the makeup. We had classmates it was about at least 2 like fucking guys that lived in this abandoned school, and these high school kids had to go clean it up for community service with no teacher supervision, and apparently these fucking guys like killed them one by one. I remember Aaron Carlson, who played Billy in Thankskilling, he had a death scene where a curtain fell on him and we replaced his head with a watermelon and came over with a sledgehammer and smashed his fucking head in. And it was brutal. But anyway, that's how Jordan and I met. Jordan went to college at Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. I went to Ohio University because I did not get into that college. But that was our separation. Obviously, the years go by. And, as you're an adult, when you're out of high school, time starts to fly much faster. And so many years go by, Jordan approaches me. We're in Heath for a break of some sort. And he's just like, so we're shooting a movie like right now. And there's this part that I kind of wrote for you. And I want you to read the script. And the movie was called Thankskilling. And the script was, I laughed out loud so many times. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Yes, I'm in. Let's do this. Like, we're actually doing this now. That we had to make some phone calls like the next couple of days and got this thing cast, and we shot it in 2 weeks. I mean, it happened. Wow. Everything happened super fast, from what I remember. Oh, and I mean that's how. The part. It was essentially said the part was written for me. It's been a long time since we had that conversation. It's been like 12, 13 years, so I can't say that. I can't say that exclusively, but. At 9:00 after this show, Jordan is having a Q&A. I'll go ask him that question. They're giving away signed Thanksgilling DVDs on that one too, by the way. So that's we'll talk about that later.
I got a promo for Jordan. So
nice.
At the end of the show, we will post that up just to keep pushing it.
Cool.
Yes.
But yeah, that's how all that happened.
Now, so walk me through this. So the film is done, 2 weeks, edited, and all that stuff. And then, how did it premiere? Where did it premiere? There's this really beautiful. It premiered in Columbus, and Studio 35, I believe. And there's this beautiful YouTube clip from Fox 28. They covered it.
They did.
They covered it. It was cool. It was a legit premiere. I remember getting wasted in a limousine. It was fun as hell. But it was like a shitty limousine. It was like someone's grandparents' rental or something. I don't, like everyone knows. It was a hearse. Yeah. So we were just kind of doing. We had that, but nothing stuck. Like it didn't go anywhere. That premiere was just for us. I mean, it was an official premiere, but it was just for us to congratulate each other on completing something. And years go by, didn't hear anything about it, forget about it. And then if we remember when Netflix was DVD mail-in only, and they were transitioning into streaming, if you got the streaming at that time of that transition, if you remember correctly, it was garbage. Everything on Netflix was terrible. Thankskilling got put on that. One of the very first films to be put on the streaming service that early.
Wow.
And that's what happened. It was just one day, shit went crazy. Everyone was talking about Thankskilling after that. And you know how that stuff goes. One person, it just takes that one person on the appropriate platform to talk about it, and then it's gone. Like, there it goes. That's what that's what happened. And it's still happening. It's still happening. People will, some random person who has like 3 million followers will be like, just fucking watch Thankskilling, and it was terrible. It was garbage. What the fuck? And then everyone will be like, like they're in the trailer comments, like, came here from like Mr. Dewey's Facebook video, and like,
I hate those comments. I hate those comments. I don't give a shit why you're here. Just fucking your comment. I don't need to know who got you here or whatever. Just say what you want to say and move on.
Right.
I hate those weird. It's like a weird mob boss thing. Like, hey, Lil Tony sent me.
Right.
You need to tell me who sent you. Just shut up and enjoy.
Run to the YouTube comments. Run and tell them who sent you.
Go ahead and talk shit about this movie.
Right.
So it's on Netflix. It's skyrocketing like crazy. When was the first moment you knew that this was a hit? This was a cult film. Like, when did it hit you, make you realize it?
It was like 2000. It was like 2009, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a concert. I was at a bar before this concert started, and this girl looked at me and she's like, "You look really familiar." And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I have this. I work at Verizon. Like, I've got family." She's like, "No, I don't know about any of that. Like, you in a movie?" And I was like, "Oh, well, funny you should ask. Do you like really bad movies?" She's like, "Oh my God, yes." "Have you ever seen one with a killer turkey?" And she's like, "Oh my God, you're him." And I got a blowjob. That's when
I go, man. There you go.
That is when I knew.
So look, you got it. You were a celebrity, and you got your celebrity blowjob, man. You succeeded.
That's how you know you made it.
You need to do anything after that point. You made it. You got it.
That was just a really crazy turn of events, and like that was it. It was just like, okay, like good to see you. And I was like, dude, you want to talk more? Like, you want to hang? And she was just like, all right. Probably felt disgusted. It was probably like, God, like I regret and sin. Just like he was in one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Ugh.
Well, you did have more hair back then, and I think you were a little more attractive than you are now. So maybe that's
very, very likely.
The beard is what threw me off, because like when I first met you, that's why I never saw Darren, because you had the beard. And then when I rewatched the movie, I had to like kind of like Photoshop your beard out of your face. And I was just like, that's now I see it.
It totally doesn't fit Darren the Nerd, man. It doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like that. Like it threw me for a spin. Ooh, something really cool is happening right now. We gotta jump on it.
Oh,
yes, you see it too?
Oh, I don't see shit.
Oh, it's another one of your co-stars joining us.
Oh, so this is gonna be a first. This is gonna be a first.
Yes,
we're a first.
Here.
All right, so let's get her out of here right now. At least give it up, everybody, for Natasha Cordova.
Woo!
Yeah. First off, I want to thank you so much for coming on this show. This is insane.
This is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan actually let me know about a recent interview that we just did with like pretty much not all of the cast, but like the main characters. And it was so awesome to see everybody. Like some of us have kept in contact more than others, but have everyone there all like simultaneously. It was just kind of like I couldn't stop laughing the entire interview. I was like, oh my God, look, there's Kevin. We had like a little mini like reunion with Ryan and Jordan, who's the director and the co-writer as well. like a couple of years ago, and that already was really cool. So yeah, no, thanks for having me. Sorry for being late.
Being here. It's awesome.
Oh, you're not late. You're one of the stars. All right, we started the show early around you. That's how I look.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I like it. I like
we were just warming everybody up. That's all we were doing. That's it. So
left Kentucky and came back to like the Chicagoland area, and I forgot about the time change because Ryan had told me 8 to 9, and then I was like getting out of the shower, and then saw the message. I was like, oh, let me get ready in like 2 minutes, like, and I had to set up my computer and like, yeah. So cool. So what's up? What's going on, guys?
Oh no, we're just talking about the film right now. We were talking with Ryan, like how he got involved in Thankskilling. We wanted to ask you, how did you get involved with Thankskilling?
Yeah, tell us your story.
So I have been like in the entertainment industry since I was like a child, like modeling mainly, and then I got into acting. And when I was going to school in Columbus, that's why I was there. I was going to college there. My roommate, he was like, he kind of became like my assistant, like, cause he was obsessed. Like, my best friend is a model actress, you know, and like I would like sometimes like I was on like a few commercials and stuff that like they like played during parties that I was at, and I'm kind of like, don't look at me, you know, and like
yeah.
But it kind of had to feel cool though. Like it kind of had to, like there's like an inch of cool where you're like, yeah, that's me right there. Just a little bit.
I'm usually not like a little bit, but like, so he started sending out, like, I was like, fine, you can put, and I had an agent there too anyways, but
wow.
Yeah, it started sending out like all these different, on all different sites, like for auditions and for this and for that, and like, oh, you'd be good for this, and you. So I'm pretty sure that he sent it out, or like he knew, because he's from Ohio too. He might have known them somehow, like a friend of a friend said something, or I mean, all I know is that basically like I went and did this audition in between like working like 2 jobs, going to school, and then like doing like the modeling stuff. Then like it just went, I think it was at Jordan's house, his parents' house, or maybe it was, or it was in a garage.
It's in a garage.
Because that's more of my like acting like role, because I've done a lot of like stunt stuff and things like that, and like martial arts, and I was supposed to be Kristen, and I guess who they had cast as, and then they casted me. They're like, oh, for sure, yes, you know. And then like a few days later, like then they were like, so who they had for Allie, which in the script was like a blonde haired, big boob, like just ditzy, whatever. Somehow like they were like, she couldn't do it, or somehow they were like, no, you have to be Allie. And they had me audition for Allie also, and they're like, no, it's like, you're pretty hilarious doing that, especially because like, you know, I don't know.
well, you killed it. I mean, you swept away so many laughs from me when I was watching. I was rewatching it the other night, and I'm just cracking up. Just the timing was just so rich. It was great.
Cool. Well, thank you.
No problem. Now, we were talking with Ryan about this. I want to ask you, because like we were talking about how it went to Netflix in the early days of Netflix. It got this huge cult following. Where were you, or if you remember, when did it hit you that this was a hit? This was a cult film.
Well, first of all, I kind of think like just the fact that Jordan and Kevin were like, they came in for the holidays from Los Angeles, and they both were, you know, like really good schools, and obviously they knew everything that they're doing. And for me, already having experience working on set, I was like, okay, these guys know what they're doing. Like it was, even though everything was goofy and silly, it was like there was a time for everything, and it was still professional. And Kevin, I said this in the last interview, and I'll say it again, like But Kevin was like, because when I was like, I'm not doing that part. Like, I'm not doing that scene. Like, I'm not agreeing.
You know what part?
Yeah,
you know exactly what part.
Yeah, which scene are we talking about?
Which scene? Let's set the table.
One.
So you just got stuffed.
Thank you for saying that. That is absolutely going to be the highlight of the show. No, but I could totally imagine how there would be reservations about doing that scene, obviously. So
Oh yeah. So like I said in the last interview, that like, so basically first I was like, you guys both have to do the scene first. And then like but I was like, you do that, and then I'll think about. And then I was like, after they both did, I was like, all right, like. And then he's like, well, just you'll be on the bottom shelf of a blockbuster. So no, but how I feel about this? Right,
just do it. You'll be on the bottom shelf. That's hilarious. Oh man.
It's
I don't know. I'm not really sure when I realized that, like, I think when I started getting all these like emails and like random people messaging me, like I was like, oh, I actually like this movie, like for whatever reason. I mean, I do, but usually I'm a little like, I think outside the box, like, you know. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you said this film really is thinking outside the box. I mean, it's taking a holiday. There's not really a lot of horror movies around this holiday, number one. And number two, it has a wisecracking killer who it's a turkey. And it plays on the B movie style so well. And Ryan said it best at one point. He's like, it's to the point where it was smart. It was playing off these funny stereotypes that are in B movie genre. So it's really well done film in my opinion. I enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna watch again tomorrow. Now let me ask you this question, because obviously you're on set. You get to probably watch other people do scenes. For both of you, both of you. What?
That was one of the best parts about it, because we would just make fun of each other. Like, look at you, like you just did that.
Is there a scene where you kind of laughed and pointed like, ah, like something that just made you heel over?
So many of them. I mean, geez, it's hard to. I think so. There was this guy who was the boom operator, Steve.
Wait, Steinmetz.
Steinmetz?
Yeah. Steve Steinmetz.
My God, Steve Steinmetz keeps coming in and out of my life. I don't understand why. Like, this guy, I can't escape him.
I totally see that, because that just added to the wackiness of the whole thing. And like me and Ryan were talking about earlier today, that like that scene with the baby bunny, and like when we're at the campfire, it was like we were all on fumes, like literally, like work this job, work that job, go to school, make sure you get all this stuff. I think there was like final something going on, then film all night long, then go back, then like, so we're like and then like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and we're filming that scene. And yeah, he was like, we're kind of delirious. Like I was like, yeah, I actually thought it was wait, am I playing Natasha, or am I Allie playing Natasha, or Natasha playing?
Lost sight of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think when you're filming a campfire scene that it's very hard to stage it. You have to sit so close to the campfire that smoke is just blowing in your face.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like it was very hard to stage, and so the smoke's blowing in our face. And I mean, if you when you watch Thankskilling and you see us laughing, because there's like, they put some laughter in there. They put some actual genuine moments in there of laughter. That really was, and I agree with Natasha, that was one of the funniest like nights, days, I don't even know, on set. That was hilarious.
That was your like big line that they put in the trailer too, and you're like,
yeah.
I don't like any beak. It was a turkey beak.
Turkey
like,
beak. But
yeah, we were all this time laughing at that. So that was funny. But the Steve-O character, I told Jordan and Kevin after a couple of days, I was like, you have to cast him in some type of role because this guy is hilarious and other people need to see this. So they cast him as like the guy that picked up turkey as a hitchhiker, and his line was like, ass, grass, or cash.
Well, do you remember, Natasha, did you see the bloopers on the DVD?
I'm sure at some point I did, but not
because there's a Steve-O blooper, and it's probably my favorite thing with Thankskilling all along. Like, because it was a blooper from him. He was like Jordan was directing him on what to, like, when he was undoing his pants, and like he had one hand on the turkey, and then Jordan literally says, I don't want you to finger the turkey's asshole. Like, less fingering of the turkey's asshole, Steve. And I just, every time that I see that clip, I'm just like, God damn it. That is like, that tells you everything right there. Steve was just trying to finger the turkey's asshole too aggressively in the shot. And Jordan had to like specifically tell him not to finger the turkey's asshole.
The things we do for our art.
Absolutely.
pretty much.
Now, here's something I want to ask both of you. Like I said, you reviewing these, what was one of your favorite kill scenes to watch or even be a part of? Like, what was one that you're like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever?
I had to take a little swig before that answer. I'd say, I don't know, Ryan, you go first. I don't know. Like, I think about it. Like,
this one, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this one's pretty easy. Natasha, I know that you were there for a good chunk of the death scenes, but you also, I forget the shooting schedule, but Billy's scene was unforgettable because there was a tornado warning happening, and it involved a shotgun coming out of his torso. Yeah. So you have to think of this. There's like 5-6 teenagers basically in front of my mom's house in her community with a bunch of blood and a shotgun while the winds are swirling and there's lightning and there's sirens going off. The police showed up, asked us what the fuck we were doing, and then told us that there was a tornado on its way. Like, no shit, get out of our way. We're trying to make a fucking movie. Leave, and we were able to film it. But when Billy's dying and Darren is holding Billy, one fucking take, dude. That was just because the tornado was coming. We only had one, so they just said go. Like just keep going.
A lot of this like that you better get it right, because I think, how many turkeys did they make? I think they made like
3. Was it 3?
Something 3? Like that. But things, it was like, no, this has to go as it. Like, we have one shot, and Troy's over there. We have one guy doing the effects, like, it's like, no, this one shot. You got to get it right. Like,
so to a certain degree, this was like theater. You're kind of almost doing it live, but except you only have one take because there's only a certain amount of turkeys.
Yeah, it's only a certain amount of time, and there was a lot of improv, and but we were all, well, not all, but I mean, I guess like everyone's like artists, so that made it like organic, that everyone going with the flow and like just throwing in things like, oh, this kind of worked, and it's like, that worked great, like, good job.
Now, I have a question for you, Natasha, about your death scene. Now, I don't really want to get into what led up to that because we already all know that. That's not that important. But so in your death scene, the turkey just snaps your neck, right? It's a pretty clean death, right? So what did you think about that? Do you think that was appropriate for your character, or do you wish you got killed in a more elaborate way, say how Ryan got killed by getting his tongue ripped out and pecked to death? Like, what were you satisfied with your kill, or did you think maybe you should have gone out in a different way?
I think given the like extremeness of the entire circumstances, the least you could have done for Allie is make it like, already weird enough as it is. Like, or would just like borderline, like towards thing.
Oh, I'm crying. I'm literally laughing so hard. I'm crying. Oh man, I think we all are. All of us have tears in our eyes.
Yeah,
right
I have. I had to stop drinking because like I was just about to spit on my laptop like numerous times. Like, and that's what's so much fun about this conversation. Like you two, like definitely had a blast making this movie, and you still love it. And it's just the memories that you two both have. It's those. It's a bond that you have forever.
Absolutely.
You know, like and Allie, you said it best. It was like a class reunion when you were all back together.
Oh yeah, it was. And I never went to any of my class reunions. Like, so
I didn't either. We didn't. I don't think we had them though.
Yeah.
I think they just gave up.
Like some of you, like the ones that I cared about, I kept in touch with, and the rest of you, see you later. I don't know. But Ryan
So,
and
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't realize you were gonna say something.
Oh, no, sorry. I know there might be a little bit of a lag. I was trying to set up. I got this new MacBook thing.
Ooh, fancy! Got yourself a
There we
Mac.
go.
There you go.
But I'm horrible with technology, so I was trying to set up. And then Ryan told me it had to be Google Chrome, and I'm like, okay. Like I don't.
Good job, Ryan. Way to inconvenience.
It's like I propped up the phone on like a bunch of towels.
Hey, it looks good. The frame is great, so you did well.
Yep.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Now we talked about about Allie's death scene, but I want to talk about Darren's death scene. Now, Ryan, you told me mentioned in a past show, but I want to give you a second to really talk about how the death scene was changed. So give us some light on that.
Yeah, so in the original script, it was, Darren gets his heart pecked out, which, I mean, I was like excited to die in a movie anyway. I mean, this is so cool. But there is, in the back of my mind, I was still like, heart pecked out. I was just kind of like, man, I wish it was a little bit more. And that was something I just kind of held close to me until the day of actually shooting the death scene. And I approached Jordan. I had just watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yes, Dream Warriors.
And there's a scene, and it's just always stuck with me. It's one of my favorite deaths, but because of the topless nurse, she's making out with the guy in bed. And then she bites his tongue. And like the tongue stretches really far, and her eyes start bulging out. And it's like, oh, he realizes he's in a nightmare, and it's Freddy Krueger. And then she bites off the tongue, and then he falls into the pits of hell. So I love that death scene, but I thought the tongue thing was just hilarious and comical. So I approached Jordan. I was like, dude, can the turkey pull out my tongue too? He said, well, let's ask Troy. And Troy was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I can do that. You're going to have to put a bunch of latex and condoms in your mouth, but yeah, I can do this. And I said, I don't give a shit. If you can do it, let's do it. So we added this and we shot it, and it looked so fucking good. And it was gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like condom back in my throat. Like it was just like disgusting. But it was another one of those it was like Natasha said, it was a one shot. Like we made this one, and this has got to work.
Took hours to make this fucking tongue, Ryan. Like
yeah. So we did it. We did it in one shot, and like it actually turned out. It actually looked really disgusting, and it was over the top. It was ridiculous, and it was exactly what I was hoping it would be. And I'm really super happy that they kept it in there. I love that.
Yeah. Now, one thing I was telling Jesse was that it seems like Darren's death scene stands apart from everybody else. Now, you could kind of rival Billy because there's a lot of drama there, but it's more like bromance drama. When Darren dies, it's a blow to the film. The cinematography used to shoot you being pecked to death, the blood coming out of your mouth, the blank stare on your face, your tongue getting ripped out, the very intense dramatic music, that was unique to your death that nobody else got. And Jesse actually brought up a point, and I want to see if he's right on this, is that when Darren died, the knowledge of killing the turkey died with him. And so Jesse's point was, well, that's important because Darren was the guy. and then he got killed. So of course his death is gonna appear in terms of production and presentation different than everybody else's death, because his was the one that, oh shit, now we're fucked because he got killed. Is that true, Ryan, or what do you think?
I'll be honest, never fucking thought that hard about it. You are reminding me of the kid. You're reminding me of the kid that sent me an essay.
As he was talking, I was like, yeah, and also it was like, then the nerd died. Like the nerd is like the part of the film. Like it's like you have to be a nerd in order to love this film. Like we all are, but like in our own ways. So like it's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, it was definitely more like, yeah, it was pretty sad.
This kid, this was years ago, but this guy sent me a college thesis paper. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And it was about the Vietnam War. Okay. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what I did with it, but he wrote his thesis on how Thankskilling is the representation of the Vietnam War, with Turkey being fucking communism, and fucking every character was like a general or a government entity in the United States or Vietnam. And it worked. It worked. Huh?
Did he get an A?
I have no idea what he got. Oh, but he had to, because it was brilliant. The guy spun absolute bullshit, but it was on point. Like Turkey's communism and what the fuck? Like what? Ronald Reagan? What?
Marxist fucker.
But I was so impressed with that. I thought that was so radical.
Now,
but that's like,
Oh,
Natasha, have you had any experience with fans where they bring you something very Thankskilling mixed in? Like Ryan has told us he's had term papers, he's had all kinds of things like that.
I mean, I've had a lot of experiences with different weird stuff. But like, the weirdest, like, this is what. So
Ryan's dying over here.
Ryan knows something we don't know.
So, we like I said, we had like a mini reunion a couple of years ago when I went back to Ohio between Jordan, Ryan, and myself. And Jordan was kind of asking about all this stuff. He's obviously he's highly intelligent, you know, and he knows us both really well. And he's like, so, you know, just kind of like playing the like psychologist or whatever, like just like, so how do you feel about this? And how do you feel about this? And yeah, that was one of the questions that he asked me. And I was like, well, it would take me a lot longer than the amount of time that we have for this reunion. I'm not trying to like overtake the whole reunion about all the weirdness, but probably the one that takes the cake is the guy that asked me to send him the oldest and smelliest shoes that I had.
Oh,
there it is.
You got a fetish guy on your hands. There you go. Wow.
To put it in his shrine of Allie.
Wow. A shrine of Allie.
Shrine?
So maybe of part of the, I don't know what the heck, but and I was actually working for the Hard Rock in Dominican Republic at the time.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was an entertainment manager up there for a couple of years. But I was kind of like, well, definitely have old and smelly shoes, and I wouldn't mind like an extra couple bucks, but then like,
did you like sign? Was there a specific type of shoe he wanted, or was it literally any shoe?
Just the oldest and smelliest of them all.
Wow. So that's what was important to him, that they were seasoned shoes. That's what he wanted. He wanted shoes that had been around for a while.
Yeah, and I was like, like I did contemplate it, like.
It's for the fans,
right?
Like I don't know, like No, I didn't do it.
I think you made a good choice. If you would have sent those, that could have gone elsewhere. So good choice on not doing it.
Yeah, it's actually because my ex, who I was living with, was like, "Yeah, do it. I got the shoes right here." Send them over. Send them on over. And I'm like, no, you know what? Like,
right,
they're right here.
Right here, I've already found the pair. They're right here. Put them in the box.
Yeah, we just throw them in the garbage anyways. Like he was.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
But there's been a lot of other weird ones.
but overall, the fandom behind Thankskilling is incredible. It is. I mean, it's spawned into so many things, musical and everything. I mean, that Ryan was involved with. Ryan, could you tell us a little bit about the musical?
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring that up when you were talking about Ali's death. Saying, Natasha, you haven't seen the musical yet, have you?
No, you sent me.
Oh my God, I need to send it to you. I'm gonna figure that out. Because you need to see it, because Ali literally has her own song about JonBenet Ramsey, and it is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's called JonBenet. It's ridiculous. It's so funny. It's so funny. I was in New York City dead. I died in New York City when JonBenet started playing. It was ridiculous. But no, the musical happened.
Just like was like, peace out, and I'm done now. Like that's why I got this new one. But yeah, no, I would love to see it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've got to see it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, like the musical is just like, that was huge, and no one knows it. I mean, not enough people know that it exists.
Oh, that was one of the best shows I've ever been to. Oh my God, that was.
And to set the stage real quick, this was a splatter musical, which there was a splash zone, so to speak, with blood. There was ponchos in the front row from some of the videos I saw, which is perfect for a slasher. Perfect.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's a splash zone for many. The liquids that happen to be in the film.
I remember the show that myself and Nigel went to that particular night. I think it was an old man or an older woman. And when I say that, I don't mean elderly, but they were probably in their 50s or 60s maybe. And they were just so pissed off that they got ketchup on them for the blood. Like, they made it a huge deal. And I don't know if you remember this, Ryan, but they split up and I'm just like, come on, you knew what you were getting into. Don't ruin the performance. But they were really, really, really mad that they got hit with the splash.
So I'm pretty sure that was Terry. The man's name was Terry, who was also Johnny's dad in Thankskilling.
Oh, okay.
No way, that was him?
Wait, he got mad?
I can't say 100% sure. Here's all I can say. I had to talk him into coming to join us for the meet and greet after the show. And he had said, sadly so, he's like, this will probably be the last time we can hang out because I have like stage 4 cancer. Like this will be. He's like, this will be it. So if there's something you want me to sign, I'll be there. And I was so excited to meet him. I was in the musical, so I didn't get a chance to, I had people meet others on their behalf. So I was busy. During intermission, I heard this story and I'm like, what the fuck? That's like crazy. Those people are freaking crazy. Well, guess who didn't show up to the meet and greet afterwards? And I never heard from them ever again.
Wow.
Terry.
That makes so much more sense now that you connected the dots there. That makes more sense.
Which is really, it was really sad.
You know who else was in that audience that night? Chuck Lamb. He was there too, man.
I asked Ryan if when we did that last interview, which like he's been doing this stuff and like inviting me for like the past few years, like to the conventions, because I do conventions, but like for other stuff, and like I've done like Con and like all the different things, but like
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Really, but a lot of times I'm out of the country, or I'm like, it's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's a great analogy. I love that. That's awesome.
you know. So it's like I would go if I was able to, but I'm not gonna like get all the way over there. But yeah, about this whole thing, I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, an online thing, and then I actually have time to do it, like, and I was the one, wasn't I, Ryan? I was the one that said, I was like, hey, who else coming? Like, how about grab a dead body guy and
dead body guy.
Too. Like, I'm sure people would like to see that, and I would love to see that. As long as we're piling all the weirdos into like one pot, like grab all of.
There you go.
There it is.
Too, you know, like come on, it's like this is gonna be interesting.
Chuck Lamb is an interesting guy.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, he and my dad were friends back in the 70s, and they used to go to discotheques together and pick up women. I heard all this like a year ago. My dad was like, "Hey, I noticed you're friends with Chuck Lamb." He's like, you know, that was my guy back in the day. I'm like, what? Like, where's this story coming from? So yeah, apparently they kicked it for a while back in the day. So small world.
Small world indeed. But right now we have to wrap up. Unfortunately, I wish we had more time for this. This has been such a blast. Both of you stay on because we'll talk backstage once the show's over. But before we go any further, I just want to thank Natasha. I want to thank Ryan for coming on the show. This was such a blast. Such a blast. I want to thank all the fans that came that talked, Darth, Tom, and Luba and Axe. I want to thank lastly, make sure we got to plug one thing. We got to plug this. Give me one moment.
While you pull that up, I want to give a big shout out to Phil Moore for watching the show today. Phil, thank you. I love you, man.
And be sure to check out Jordan Downey tonight at 9 p.m. We're a little bit over. Go over to his Facebook page and check that out now.
Thankskilling Facebook page. Thankskilling Facebook page.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Awesome. And one last thing. Next week, we'll be interviewing Chris Skaggs, former producer of the Torg and Elliott Show on QFM 96. Quick shout out to Max Rowland, our graphic designer, and our producer, Vance. And happy Thankskilling to everybody that listened today. Thank you so much.
Jesse, Natasha wants to give a final word. We want to give her.
Sorry, Natasha. Sorry.
Because I don't want to go over too much. I just wanted to. Hang on one second.
I don't know what's happening.
I love the fact.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. Did you hear that whistle?
Anything.
Did you hear that whistle?
That was a good whistle.
It really was. I can't even whistle that good. Oh man, we gotta Oh, there we go.
Wish everybody very, very happy Thanksgiving, Thankskilling, and thank you so much for having us. And you guys are awesome. And gobble gobble, motherfuckers.
There it is. Thank you, Natasha, for joining. The pleasure's all on this side of the table. We really do appreciate you taking time out of your evening to talk to us and all of our fans. This meant the world to Jesse and I, and it was great to finally meet you and actually talk to you in person. So thank you very, very much, and thank you for making a phenomenal film.
Thank you for enjoying.
Well, until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you, and have a happy Thankskilling, everyone.
Gobble, gobble, motherfuckers!
Gobble, gobble.